but the point still remains. The word Tawheed does not appear in the Quran. And the word Tawheed comes from the verb which means to unify, to make one, to consolidate. Now let me give you another one. This comes from the concept of God. Guess who wrote it? Does anyone have an idea?
Who?
Dr. Zakir Naik. The brother said, the sister make a good point. The brother, the chapter 2. I can't do him as good as Christian Prince.
No, yeah, Christian Prince. Literally, I thought he was him once. That
That's
was
right.
tough. But hold on,
Stop hating,
Sam.
bro.
Are you getting this from? So is the article you said it's
Yeah, this
open
I
kind of
linked to
consolidation?
their posts in
Mhm.
my post.
Yeah.
So it comes from Concept of God, which is something Zakir Naik wrote, and he says, and I quote, this is him again. Let's Muslims say, you're making it up. Tawheed doesn't mean unify, consolidate. You kafir, you munafiqun. All right, anyway. Here it is, Tawheed, definition and categories. Islam believes in Tawheed, which is not merely monotheism, i.e. belief in one God, but much more. Tawheed literally means unification. Let me repeat. Tawheed literally means unification, i.e. asserting oneness, and is derived from the Arabic verb wahda. Wahda, which means to unite, unify, or consolidate. So the Christian brother, our brother in Lord Jesus Christ, I guess he speaks Arabic, who said that's what the root meaning of Tawheed is, he's absolutely right, because the Muslims admit it comes from the verb which means to unite, consolidate, unify. So you consolidate Allah, you unify Allah in all his various parts. And they don't call it parts, they would call it attributes, sifat. We'll get into that. So number one, the word Tawheed does not appear in the Quran. Number two, Tawheed comes from the verb, which means to make something one, to consolidate, to unify. Implication, this verb refers to something that is plural, but coming together as one. A unity and plurality, a plurality and unity. Is that clear before I move on? Now, you guys already know this stuff, obviously. I'm preaching to the choir.
Yep. But for those who may not, this is good stuff, man.
And the reason why it's good, because one of the most stupidest arguments you're going to hear, Trinity's not in the Bible, so Trinity ain't true. Ha ha, I got you, you kafir. Okay, well, if Trinity, the word Trinity, not being in the Bible is proof the Bible doesn't teach a Trinity, well, the word Tawheed is not in the Quran. Guess what? You just destroyed Tawheed. Allahu Akbar.
Exactly.
Allahu Akbar. Now, since we're dealing with a particular group of Muslims, the Sunni, and more specifically the Salafis, because you and Uthman got something going, you and him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I think you probably dropped me though, man.
No, I don't know. Man, no, man, it's a love-hate relationship. He loves to hate you and you hate to love him. Right? So in Salafi Islam,
Yeah.
and they like to use the term Salaf Salih, Salaf Salih, right? They actually divide Tawheed into three categories. Now, this is important because for those who don't know much about Sunni Islam, and I'm talking about mostly the Westerners, those who are in the Middle East or were from Muslim backgrounds, they already know this. But in Salafi Islam, they divide Tawheed in three categories. But other Sunnis who are not Salafis, they would call themselves Ash'ari, Ashaira, or Maturidi. Sorry to give you all these technical terms, but it's important because not all Sunnis believe the same thing, let alone dealing with those who are not Sunnis, like Shia, and there are various branches of Shia Islam. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to focus on Sunni Islam because they're the largest segment of Muslims. They say 85%. I don't know how true that is. 85% of the 1.6 billion, 1.7 billion Muslims would identify as Sunni. So they say. I don't know. You know, is that true or false? I don't know. Who knows? Who's gone and taken a tally? But with that said, in Sunni Islam, they don't all have the same belief and understanding about Allah and His attributes. In Sunni Islam, the Ash'ari and the Maturidi accuse the Salafis of inventing. They will tell you, you will not find among Muhammad and his companions or their followers or the generation after them. Dividing Tawheed into three categories, they'll tell you that's an innovation, a bid'ah. Innovation. So someone like Hamza Yusuf, who's not a Salafi, is an Ash'ari. Or Nu Ha Mim Keller, a convert to Islam, who's also not a Salafi but an Ashari. Or Jibril Fuad Haddad, a Lebanese who converted to Islam. They all say that dividing Tawhid into three categories is an innovation. It was not done by Muhammad, his companions, their followers, and the generation after them. So with that said, it's ironic that you have the Salafis who accuse us of inventing terms and creating categories to explain what the Bible teaches about God that's not in Scripture, when their own fellow Sunnis accuse them of the very thing.
That's good. That is
So
good.
keep that in mind. In fact, I even quote Nu Hamim Keller in one of my posts saying that they invented their own Trinity by dividing Tawhid into three.
Oh, wow. Just for the update in the room, guys, the link that's pinned at the top is Sam's article that he mentioned, where you can find this information about Tawheed and the definitions he's been giving from the Muslims. I'm looking at it right here, right now. So if any of the Chloe, can you pin this on the YouTube as well for me?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna copy the link and put it in the YouTube chat.
In fact, by the way, in that link you just gave, I quote Nu Hamim Keller. Here it is. It's in that article, guys, and I link to it. Nu Hamim Keller, question 3, reforming classical texts as far as Wahhabi, tamperings with classical texts goes. How widespread is this heinous crime? So he doesn't call him Salafi, he calls him, Wahhabi, followers of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. Look what he says, and I quote, this is this Sunni Muslim. Or consider the 73-page introduction to volume 1 of the same translation, a tract that explains the Muslim Trinity. So he calls it the Muslim Trinity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he says it's a bid'ah, an innovation. So what are the three categories of Tawheed that Salafis like Uthman swear by? Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, that means Allah is the sole Lord. Rububiyyah means Rabb, the Arabic word Rabb meaning Lord. He is the sole Lord, the only sovereign Lord of heaven and earth. Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, also called Tawheed al-Ibadah. Tawheed uluhiyya means that Allah alone is to be worshipped.
Yeah.
You cannot worship anything alongside of Allah. And the other term is ibad. Ibadah comes, basically service. You're an abd or abd. You are a servant who serves. So the act of service is called ibadah. Allah alone is to be worshipped and served. And then there's the third category, and it's in no particular order, but Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat, the oneness of Allah's names and characteristics. Now this category says that Allah possesses certain names, certain functions that cannot be ascribed to a creature, and even in those characteristics that He shares in common with creatures, Allah possesses those characteristics in absolute perfection, and in that sense, you cannot attribute it to a creature. For example, Allah is merciful, you can be merciful, but He is merciful in an absolute perfect sense, unlike you. That is why the Salafis say, when you talk about Allah being merciful, you must say He is the merciful. You must definitize it. In other words, you have to put it in the definite form with the definite article. Yeah. The merciful, Ar-Rahman.
Yeah.
So you can call someone Rahman, but you can't call him Ar-Rahman. Now this is the classification by Salafis, rejected by many other Sunni Muslims. Keep those three categories in mind, because I will show that the Quran violates these categories, the Hadiths violate these categories, and if you apply these categories consistently, you end up with Jesus claiming to be God.
Exactly. I used this argument last week.
What was it? Well, share it with us. Well, how did you use it?
So, and I did a small little video on this where Jesus claims to be God even by Quranic standards or Islamic standards.
Oh, yes,
The statements that He makes about Himself and the divine titles that He claims for Himself, He's claiming to be God even according to Islam. And so when I brought this to the Muslims, they didn't want to deal with it. What they tried to say is, oh, well, people can be merciful, right? Or people can be truthful or bring the truth. But I said, can anyone claim to be the most merciful or the truth? Any of the divine names of Allah, can they claim that for themselves? Obviously, they had to say no. So then they
Exactly.
have to say that Jesus is claiming to be God then.
Yep, 100%. In fact, it's not simply in its definite form when you definitize the characteristic. There are certain names that the Quran nowhere ascribes to him besides Allah. For example, El-Haq.
Yeah,
El-Haq, the truth.
the truth.
This, you'll never find any person in the Quran called the truth. El-Haq. And yet in John 14:6, our Lord says, I am the way, El-Tariq, the truth, El-Haq, and the life. And so according to Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat, he just claimed one of the unique attributes, names, titles of God. And one of the best articles listing some of the names of Allah is by Aisha Bewley. I'm going to get you the link. I don't know how to do this. Maybe I have to send it to Alisher on Facebook and you can share it. So Alisher, I'm going to send it to you on Facebook, right? All right. Aisha Bewley, I was going to call her Alisher Bewley. I don't mean to insult her. Sorry about that. Right? Imagine calling her Alisher Bewley. She'll be offended at that. By the way,
Aisha Bewley.
Aisha Bewley, yeah, Aisha Bewley is a Muslimah. She has translated, in my estimation, the best English translation of Sahih Bukhari, and she makes it all available on her website for free. So when I send this link to Alisher, all of you download her translation of the Quran, download her translation of Sahih Bukhari, and download her article on the divine names. Her translation of Bukhari is phenomenal. It is vastly superior to the one used by most Christians and Muslims, the one done by Muskin Khan, which is available on sunnah.com. That pales in comparison. Hers is absolutely superior.
Yeah.
So let me get him the link on Facebook.
Sam, it's her translation in the hadith where she translates that Allah does pray, right? In the hadith.
One of the hadiths, yes, she would do that. Yes, Aisha Bewley. And we're going to get into all that stuff. So now, Alisha, I just sent you the link to her main page so they can also download Bukhari and Muslim, but she has an article on the divine names, and she lists the unique names belonging to Allah and gives you the ayat, the verses of the Quran, where you can find many of these names attributed to Allah. So I just sent it to you on Facebook, brother, and you got it. And here's the one on divine names. Save these resources, folks. Praise our Lord Jesus in his love and mercy for creating us for a time like this.
Amen.
Whereas previous generations did not have what you have. All you do is pay for internet, and you have massive amounts of archaeological, textual, scientific, medical facts and proofs showing Christianity is true, the Lord Jesus is real, he's alive, the Bible is supernatural, and all these other cults are false.
Amen.
God has made it so easy for this generation to destroy these satanic ideologies, more so than any other generation. Right?
Amen. Absolutely.
So, but remember,
Yeah, brother.
you got both of them, right? I guess sent you know. But keep this in mind. The greater the blessing, the greater the responsibility. The more you receive favor, the more you'll be accountable for. So, in other words, when we stand before the Lord, none of us will have an excuse not to know our faith inside and out and live it out and proclaim it boldly, because the Lord's going to show you all these resources that were there free of charge for us to use for the glory of Christ and the power of the Holy Spirit. So the more favor, the greater the blessing, the greater the judgment, the greater accountability, the greater responsibility. So keep that in mind. It's a double-edged sword, right?
Yep.
So now, with that said, does the Quran teach Tawheed as understood by the Salafis or the Sunnis in particular? Because if I were to give you the English equivalent of Tawheed, it's Unitarianism. The belief that Allah is not just a singular being, singular in his essence, but that he's a singular person. Even though Muslims don't like to use the term person, because in English, when you say person, you think of a human being, flesh and blood, physical, temporal, limited, and finite. We're not using that definition for person, obviously. We're using it in a theological sense that God is a living, conscious being, right? I mean, he is alive, he is aware, he has self-awareness, and he's aware that others exist, and he knows who he is. And so we use it in that sense. So in that sense, they'd say there's only one person, that is Allah. Allah is not multi-personal. So we're going to put holes through this argumentation, because I'm going to use the language of the Quran to show Allah is not a singular person. Now, this is going to put Muslims in another dilemma. They claim the Quran is divine speech, and as such, it is perfect. There is no other speech that equals the Quran in terms of its eloquence, its literary style and design. It is a miracle. That means whatever I show from the Quran must have been deliberately designed to say what it says and to read the way it does. Otherwise, the Muslim is going to say, no, the writer made a mistake, or the speaker made a mistake. He meant to say this, but he came out saying this. So either way, the Muslims are buried. If you admit that this speech is perfect and eloquent and unparalleled and unmatched, and its structure is a miracle, then that means Allah wanted to speak in the manner we find him speaking, which opens the door for plurality of divine persons. But if you admit, no, that the author meant to say this, but he came out saying this, then you bury the Quran and show that it's anything but eloquent. You see the problem?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you got to be careful of the translations you read, because the Muslims do the very thing they accuse Christians and Jews of doing. They pervert the Quran, they twist the Quran, they misinterpret the Quran, and add to the Quran or take away from the Quran to make it sound more sensible. In other words, they do the very things they slanderously accuse Jews and Christians of doing. For example, someone open up chapter 3, verse 78.
Here we go.
Read that for me. Chapter 3, verse 78.
Chapter 3, verse 78. Anybody got it faster than me? All right, I'm there. All right, so it says, I'm using the Mushin Ali Khan one.
Who?
Mushin.
Muskhin Khan?
Yeah.
All right. Hilali Khan. Yeah, those are the Salafi Muslims that butcher the Quran. So that's not going to be the ideal, but it's okay. You can read that for now. The better one would be Arbery. That would be a better one. But because Arbery, anyway, he's not a Muslim, and he tried to translate the Quran in English to match the cadence and the style and structure of the Quran. That's why even Muslims praise that translation. Now, but read 378 anyway.
All right, 378. All right, so it says, and verily, among them is a party who distort the book with their tongues, so that you may think it is from the book, but it is not from the book. And they say, this is from Allah, but it is not from Allah, and they speak a lie against Allah while they know it.
So it accuses a party of the people of the book, not everyone, of twisting not the Bible by corrupting the text, but by perverting its meaning, misinterpreting it, and claiming that there are things in the Bible that are not there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, the Muslims are guilty of this very thing. They do to their book what the Quran slanderously accuses Jews and Christians of doing. Again, it's true. I can't say slanderously because sadly, we do have Jews and Christians that do misinterpret the Bible, twist it to fit their traditions. We're all guilty of that to some extent. Because once I'm convinced of a tradition, any difficult passage that doesn't seem to make sense, I will try to explain in such a way that it agrees with what I'm convinced the Bible teaches. We're all guilty of that to some extent. But you're going to see what I mean, because the Arabic says one thing and the English by the Muslim says something completely. Now remember how this is going to put Muslims in a dilemma. They'll tell you the Quran, its structure, its grammar, its syntax, its cadence, miraculous, because it's a speech of Allah and it's unparalleled. Nothing can compare to it. All right, that means Allah chose to speak exactly the way the Arabic has him speaking, and yet he speaks in such a way where he introduces other divine beings alongside of him. What do I mean? Don't use Muskhin Khan. Try to get Arbery's. If one of you guys can do it, get Arbery. Oh, there goes my ear. Somebody just opened. Chapter 19, verses 63 to 64.
Arbery. Anybody got that? Because I don't have Arbery. I'm going to try to get it right now, though.
We have, I don't know if you guys know, part of the website answeringislam.info, the Jochen Katz, who started the website, actually also created a Quran browser. We have our own Quran browser where we have Arbery. Yeah, let me get it for you. Hold on. I'll send it to Alisher. Yeah.
Yeah,
We have
that'll be.
Arbery. We don't have the Arabic. We have Arabic transliteration, but this belongs to the Answering Islam website. This is ours. So Alishir, here you go, sir. I'm sending it to you. Takbir, Mikolo. Takbir, Budweiser. Takbir, Heineken. See, you guys are not getting it. Then they say takbir. That means, take a beer.
What?
When the Muslims say take beer, that means take a beer, have a beer, man. What's wrong with you? Man, bunch of haters.
Heineken.
You got the link?
Yes, I did. I'm just posting up.
There it is. That's the one.
Arbery. Okay.
19 verse 63. So you do 19:60-64. But read 63 first. What's that hissing sound in the background?
I
Is
think
that
that's
the
you.
serpent?
I think that's you.
No, that's not me, brother. I'm okay.
He said, "I'm okay." Can
God
somebody?
Logic, you want me to read it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just read verse 63 first.
Okay, this is AJ Arbery.
Hmm?
That is paradise which we shall give as an inheritance to those of our servants who are God-fearing.
Okay, did you catch it? Allah speaking in the plural because he goes, that is paradise which we will give to those of our servants, right? You
Yeah.
catch the language? No Muslim will tell you that Muslims are the slaves, the servants of someone other than Allah. No Muslim will say we are the slaves, the servants of Gabriel, right?
Right.
So who's saying we gave paradise to our servants?
Allah.
You sure?
That's what they would say.
Okay. Now contextually, the speakers do not change. So read 63 into 64.
Go ahead, Freeman.
Before the rapture.
Because I'm still having trouble.
Yeah,
63 to
63
64.
again says, that is paradise which we shall give as an inheritance to those of our servants who are God-fearing. And then 64 says, hold on, it says, we come not down save at the commandment of thy Lord.
Who's speaking?
To him, Allah.
Who's saying we do not come down except by the command of your Lord?
Allah is.
But I thought Allah's only one. How does Allah come down by the order of someone else who's Muhammad's Lord?
I'm stuck for the law.
But then finish it. Look what they say. Look what the we says.
Okay, we come not down save at the commandment of thy Lord. To him belongs all that is before us,
Us.
and
Go ahead. Don't stop.
all that is behind us, and all between that.
So Allah speaking in 63 in the plural, continues to speak in the plural in 64, but then he says, Muhammad's Lord is the one who sends us down, and all that is before us is in full view of Allah, right? So he's fully aware of what's before us and behind us. But the us is supposedly Allah who gives paradise to his servants. What's going on here? I'm confused.
I am too.
So now either the Muslim is going to say, well, no, that's not what the author meant to say. He meant to have the angel speaking here, which is why many Muslim translations will add, and the angel say, or they'll say Gabriel said, even though in the Arabic, the word angels or Gabriel does not appear.
Wow.
So they're improving on the Quran.
Yep. They have to add into it to try to make sense of it.
But now if the Quran is a miracle in its structure, and it's designed deliberately to read the way it does, that means Allah deliberately spoke in this manner to convey the idea that he's not the only divine being, because there's another divine being that commands him and orders him and sends him down.
Wow. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So Muslims, you're stuck either way. Either this is bad Arabic, because that's not what the author wanted to convey, or this is exactly what the author wanted to convey, that there's a plurality of divine beings.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword.
Aha.
It's
Now
tough.
let's go. Go
It's
ahead, you're
tough.
saying?
No, it's tough too because it literally made me think of chapter 41, verse 3, where it says that its verses are explained perfectly.
In detail,
In
yeah.
detail.
Okay,
Yeah.
but now it's going to get worse. Go to chapter 6, verse 114. So far, everyone's with me in the room?
Yes. Yeah. Everybody here? Y'all following along?
Yes, bro.
Yes, bro.
6:114.
Listening intently.
We
Good,
got
good, brother.
we got
Good
multiple Allahs in here, man.
No, it's going to get worse. Oh, it's nothing. Yeah, we're just beginning. That's why you got to do multiple series, because there's too much. They'll take me maybe 3-4 sessions to even do justice to it. This is just. I haven't even gone deep yet.
Then let's do exactly that. Let's have like about 3 or 4 sessions. How many it takes. Let's keep going. Let's do it. This is good, Sam.
Watch
right,
what
this
6:114 says.
This is Arbery 6:114.
Yeah.
What shall I seek after any judge but God?
Okay,
For
now
it is
catch what it
He.
says here before we move on. Whoever who's speaking, it's obviously he's distinct from God, right? And the word in Arabic it's Allah, but Arbery translated as God. So what shall I seek a judge besides Allah? Right?
Yep.
Okay, so obviously if you just read it, you're not going to conclude this is Allah speaking, right?
Correct. It has to be somebody else.
Okay, now reread it again slowly, because I want people to read with understanding so you can capitalize on the mistakes of the Quran.
Okay. What shall I seek after any judge but God? For it is He who sent down to you the book, well distinguished. And those whom we have given the book
Okay, now you
know it
confuse
is.
me.
Oh, whoa.
The speaker now speaks in the plural, and he says that he's the one who gave the book to those who came before Muhammad.
Wow, now I have to look at this in another translation, because this is
No, watch what the Muslims do. They butcher it.
Yeah, I want to see how they butcher it. That's what I want to see. Because that's tough, Sam.
And the Arabic speakers who read Arabic will confirm that this is what the text says.
Exactly. I mean, it says basically, أفغير الله ابتغي حكما وهو الذي أنزل إليكم الكتاب مفصلا والذين أتيناهم الكتاب يعلمون إنه منزل من ربك بالحق فلا تكونون من الممتردين. It means who's speaking here, Sam? I'm confused.
Allah. It's Allah's words. Allah
So why is
speaks.
Allah saying about another Allah, another
Exactly.
Rabbika?
That's the problem the Muslims need to answer.
Incredible.
And so you see, the one says, say, shall I? And doesn't say, by the way. The Arabic says, shall I?
Exactly.
Yep. And so literally the speaker is supposed to be Allah, because the Muslims tell you this is the speech of Allah. It's not Gabriel. It's Allah speaking. So Allah says, what? Shall I seek a judge other than Allah when He sent down to you the book and truth? And we have given the book to those before you. Wait, so the I is the we, and the we is the one who gave the book. And yet that we, who's the I, is distinct from Allah who sent down the book to Muhammad.
Wow, yeah. And the brackets that they put in here is hilarious.
Right? They're improving on the Quran. They are doing what 378 accused Jews and Christians doing, twisting the book with their tongues. So they're adding words, they're twisting the meaning to make the Quran sound more coherent, meaning that they are speaking better than their God.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? So everyone else got it? I don't know if everyone else got it, because you guys got it, but I got to make sure all of you are on the same page.
Yeah, everybody on the page,
Yeah.
let's interact with this, y'all. Are you guys?
Yeah, got it.
Very clear,
Okay.
bro.
Go to 51 of the Quran, chapter 51. Read verses 47 to 51. But before you get to 50, you're going to go to chapter 51. You're going to read 47 to 49. And then we're going to read 50, 51. So everyone makes sure they know who's speaking.
Wait, you said God
Chapter
logic I get
51.
Arbery from
Yeah,
his
you
link
got to do
above?
Arbery, man. You're going to do the Muslims. They're going to deceive you. So you're not, unless you read Arabic. Yeah, they're going to deceive you.
There's multiple Allahs, everyone, in the Quran. If you read it honestly, that's what we're seeing from the Quran.
Yep. So in 51,
You know what I read? I read the tafsir of Ibn Kathir now in Arabic for the verse of 6:114. You're gonna laugh what it says in Arabic.
is saying it's Muhammad, right?
Yeah, it's saying that Allah. it says Allah was speaking to Muhammad, and then Muhammad is meant to tell this to the unbelievers.
Yeah, so it's supposedly Muhammad who said, "Shall I seek?" But hold on, why doesn't it say,
Right.
right? Qul, say. Or why doesn't it say, "O Prophet, Ya Nabi, say"? No. There's no change in the speaker. It's the same speaker throughout the entire verse. So then that means they end up with, but now here's where it gets worse. Then it is Muhammad who says, "And we gave the book beforehand." Right? You can't have your cake and eat it too. Because if it's Muhammad speaking, the Muhammad goes from saying, "I shall not seek a judge other than Allah, and we gave the book beforehand." So Allah's pre-existent, He's divine, and He sends the book down.
Incredible.
So you can't get around this. You see why I say it's a dilemma, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but now when he gets
Hey,
to 51, we need to read 47 to 49.
yeah, my internet's acting up. Can someone
Yeah,
get
somebody
51?
got to get
Sorry.
it up. Yeah.
Okay. So 51, 47 to 49?
We're going to read to 51, chapter 51, verses 47 to 51, but you're going to stop at 49 before you get to 50, 51.
Okay. Set this up then. All right. So 47. And heaven, we built it with might.
Is there any doubt that supposedly Allah speaking in the plural again?
That is for sure Allah speaking in the plural.
Okay, keep on.
And we extend it wide. 48. And the earth, we spread it forth.
No doubt it's Allah supposedly speaking, right?
No doubt about it. No
All
doubt.
right, keep on.
Oh, excellent smoothers.
Did
49.
you catch it? Allah's now praising Himself. Oh, excellent smoothers. This Allah's weird. Not only does He speak of Himself in the plural, then He'll refer to Himself in third person plural.
Mm-hmm.
You guys catch it? So Allah's the one saying, "We spread it out. Oh, excellent smoothers." If I do say so myself. Right?
That's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough. 49. And of everything created, we two kinds.
So in other words, we carried everything in pairs, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's Allah, correct?
That's Allah. No doubt about
Now,
it.
guys, before he finishes it, there's nothing in the context says the speakers have changed. So when you read 49, then read 50 and 51.
Happily you will remember.
Happily means perhaps. That's Old English way of saying perhaps. If you see the word Haply, it's not Happily. It's Haply. That's the own Shakespearean, Elizabethan way of saying perhaps. Happily you'll remember. Perhaps you'll remember.
So wait,
now here's
Allah
what's
said
ironic.
perhaps?
Yeah, here's what's ironic. Allah supposedly knows all things, is not certain whether they're going to remember or not. He goes, perhaps you'll remember. Oh, well, I'll have a field day with that one. But sorry. Now, so Allah's speaking, right? Read 49 one more time so they don't lose the point.
All right. And of everything created, we two kinds. Haply you will remember. Maybe you remember. All right. Verse 50. Therefore flee unto God. I am. I'm sorry.
You didn't finish it.
I know. It just
You're
got
laughing. You got it, but they don't get it because they don't see it, man. Help them out, bro. Don't be so selfish, man.
Sorry.
Hater, bro. Hater.
Let me share it. Therefore, flee unto God. I am a clear warner for him to you.
Wait, but I thought the speaker in the previous verse is Allah, who's speaking in the plural, and now Allah goes and speaks in the singular, saying, I am a plain warner from Allah.
That's what Allah is saying. If we're consistent with the verses.
Yep, keep reading.
All right, I'll just repeat the verse. Therefore, flee unto God. I am a clear warner from him to you. 51. And set not up with God another God. I am a clear warner from him to you.
So where did the speakers change? Because in 47, 49, it's Allah speaking in the plural, referring to him creating the heavens and the earth and everything in pairs. And no indication that now someone else is speaking. And in the verses that follow, now that Allah who's speaking as we and our is now speaking as I'm a plain warner from Allah.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? I'm baffled.
It looks to me, if we're going to explain this for the Muslims, that these two characters are united in. I can't even come up with nothing. No, this is just stupid.
Well, or you can say that the reason why in verses 47, 49, Allah speaking in the plural, because there it's a plurality of divine beings. But then one of the divine beings speaks of him being subject to the other divine being who sent him as a warner.
Mm-hmm.
See how that works?
Yeah, I see.
Now,
Both.
anyone, before I move on, anyone confused or everyone's getting this?
That's clear as day. That
Okay.
is clear as day.
I'm going to give you two more examples of this and we're going to segue into other issues. Two more examples of this and we're going to segue into other issues. Now, this one, let's go to chapter 19. When you get to 19, the words of Jesus, supposed words of Jesus, where he's speaking as an infant, end at verse 33. And then Allah speaks, because remember, Allah is the one who's communicating. He's the one who's speaking. This is his speech. It's not Gabriel, it's not Muhammad, right?
Right.
So then you're going to read 19, chapter 19, verses 34 to 36.
Okay. So I'm starting at 33, right?
Yep. No. Well, yeah, you can just show that that's supposedly the words of Jesus ending there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just set that up. All right. All right. So 33. Peace be upon me, the day I was born, and the day I die, and the day I am raised alive.
So that's supposedly the infant Jesus. Guys, if you don't know, this is supposedly the infant Jesus speaking as an infant. He just came out of his mother's womb. So imagine the scenery. The people are wondering, hey, Mary, where'd you get the son from? Because the Quran does not know of Joseph. And the Quran does not know that Mary was betrothed to Joseph. And the Quran is not aware that Joseph then took her in as wife to shield her from any accusation. Because people would have thought that Jesus is Joseph's son. Because the Quran does not know about Joseph. It leaves Mary all by herself, pregnant with a child, and has to now explain herself.
Yeah.
This is how silly the Quran is. So what does Mary do? She points to the babe. So imagine the scene, guys, literally. So the baby's just born, and she's pointing to him, and it says, I am a prophet of Allah, and he made me blessed. I'm his servant, and he didn't make me overbearing to my mother. And then after he finishes, that's the scene.
That's tough, Sam.
No, that's really the scene. I'm not lying. If you go to 1927 to 33, they go up to Mary, and this is where we find out that Moses is Jesus' uncle, because they call her the sister of Aaron. Ya Ukhta Harun, in 1928. So Moses' sister, the mother of Jesus, just gave birth to Moses' nephew, Jesus. Yeah, I'm not lying. In 1928, it says, oh, sister of Aaron, Ya Ukhta Harun. Now they'll say, yeah, but because, people back then, they would name their children after these great people of renown. But hold on. It's not only that she's a sister of Aaron, 1928. And the Arabic name for Mary is Maryam, which corresponds to the Hebrew word Miriam. But she's also the daughter of Imran. Surah Al-Tahrim, 66 verse 12, it says, Maryam bint Imran, and her mother is the Zawaj, the wife of Imran. Chapter 3, verse 35. Well, the only Maryam, who's the daughter of Imran and the sister of Aaron, is the sister of Moses. Because in Numbers 26:59, we're told that Jochebed, the wife of Amram, gave birth to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, their sister. So it's not that only that she's called the sister of Aaron. She's also the daughter of Imran, and her mother is the wife of Imran. And Imran is the Arabic for Amram, and the only sister of Aaron, Exodus 15:20, who's the daughter of Imran, Numbers 26:59, is Amram, the father of Mary, and Moses, and Aaron. You can't get around the fact that Muhammad confused the two.
Yep.
So here we have in this passage, Moses' sister giving birth to his nephew Jesus. Man, I'm serious. So you'd think she'd call Moses, Musa alayhi salam, come defend me. Ya akhi, they're accusing me. Astaghfirullah, Rabbil Alameen. So then Jesus comes to her defense. So now, with that said, read 1933 to 36.
Okay. Yeah. Peace be upon me the day I was born and the day I die, and the day I am raised up alive. That is Jesus, son of Mary.
Now, that's not Jesus speaking anymore, right?
No,
So who's supposedly speaking if the Muslims are right? This is a speech of who?
Allah.
Allah.
Okay, so Allah's speaking. Okay, keep going.
Okay. That is Jesus, son of Mary, in word of truth, concerning which they are doubting. It is not for God to take a son unto him.
So this is Allah speaking in the third person, because oftentimes Allah speaks of himself in the third person.
Yes.
Okay, so Allah's saying it's not for Allah to do what?
To take a son unto him.
Keep going.
Glory be to him. When he decrees a thing, he but says to it be, and it is. Surely, surely God is my Lord and your Lord.
Who's speaking?
Allah.
So Allah just said, surely Allah is my Lord and your Lord?
Yes. So serve you him. This is
So
the straight path.
Allah's saying, look, Allah's my Lord and your Lord, so serve Allah, and it's Allah speaking. So Allah, who should I serve? My Lord and your Lord. Well, who's your Lord? Allah? Allah. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay, now what's the point? Either they're going to say that the Arabic Quran is a joke because the Quran wanted to say one thing, but it came out saying something else. So that destroys the Quran being perfect Arabic and miraculous and eloquent, because all these verses are in such a way where you have Allah speaking of others that are God, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but now the final one, this one is really, I like this one. 17 verse 1. Surah Al-Isra, chapter 17, verse 1. Now, everyone got what we're trying to show, that there is no change in the speaker. Now, the only way the Muslims can get around this saying, well, no, that's not what the Quran meant to say. It meant to say this. So you're telling me the Quran failed to communicate clearly. So it's not a miracle. Because I could say it better than the Quran.
Right. Now, chapter 17, verse 1.
Now, you got to read this slow. Now, before I go on, everyone in Clubhouse got it?
Yeah. And everyone on YouTube, you got it? What we're breaking down here? Because remember, we're talking about Tawheed. So Sam, real quick, can we reiterate why we are bringing these points up?
Because the claim of the Muslims is that that Islam has the purest form of monotheism, Unitarianism, and Allah is a singular person, incomparable, and He alone is worthy of worship. And I'm showing no, the language of the Quran, the structure of the Quran, statements of the Quran, and the Hadith show there are multiplicity of divine beings. And we haven't even gotten into the meat of the matter yet. I'm just slowly, that's why I said it's going to take more than one session.
You saying this ain't the meat of the matter?
No, far from it. This is nothing.
Yeah,
No, really, it's nothing. What I'm telling you, this is nothing, man. This is like surface, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, in 17 verse 1.
Yep, I'm there.
What does it say? Slowly, though, because I want... Now, the people who read Arabic is going to confirm this.
Okay, here we go. 17 verse 1 of the Quran. Glory be to him.
Now, who's supposedly speaking?
It's supposedly is going to be a servant. But it doesn't say, so it has to be Allah who's speaking.
No, yeah, Allah, and you're going to see it's Allah. So Allah is all about glorifying himself?
Yes.
So Allah is saying to himself, glory be to me.
Yes.
Okay, so now read it for us. Go ahead.
Glory be to him who carried his servant by night from the holy mosque to the further mosque, the precincts of which we have blessed.
Now you see, there's no doubt that's Allah speaking, right?
That is definitely Allah speaking. He's the only one who can bless.
We blessed, and then what else? What else did he do? So he might do what?
That we might show him some of our signs.
Now pause right there. Here's what I want everyone to focus on, and I need the answer. It says, glory be to him who took his servant by night from, it says, Masjid al-Haram, the Arabic, to Masjid al-Aqsa, whose precincts we blessed, so that we might show him some of our ayat, signs, miracles. So when it says we show him our signs, now the we obviously is Allah, right?
Yes.
But my question for everyone is, who is the him that Allah showed signs to? That we might show him our signs, miracles. So who's the him?
It has to be the servant.
And according to tradition, that would be who?
That would be Muhammad.
Everyone see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone see that we is supposedly Allah saying we showed him some of our miracles. The word signs, ayat, means miracle. Miracles, it's plural. So we showed him our miracles. So who did he show miracles? Muhammad. So the him is Muhammad, right?
That's who the him is. It's Muhammad.
Okay, now finish it though.
Right.
Okay. He is the all-hearing, the all-seeing.
So you just made Muhammad omniscient
Yes.
because the him is the one that Allah showed signs to, and then it says he is the all-hearing, all-seeing. The pronoun didn't change.
Astaghfirullah. You're a kafir. There's no way.
So who is the all-seeing, all-hearing? If you say Allah, then Allah is being shown miracles by some others.
Mm-hmm.
Because it says, we showed him our miracles. He, the him that we showed miracles to, is the all-seeing, the all-hearing. So if he is Allah, that means Allah needed to be shown miracles by some other group.
Incredible.
Because the pronoun doesn't change. It's the same him and the he. Those of you who are Arabic, read it and see if I'm lying.
In Arabic, it says, Subhan الذي أسري بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى. So he's saying, glory be to the person, okay, who, glory be to me, in other words, because Allah is talking definitely.
Supposedly, yeah. He's talking about himself in third person, yeah.
Yeah, because he's the one that sent Muhammad from the Masjid al-Haram to the Masjid al-Aqsa.
Yep.
Very clear. Very clear.
That's according to the tradition, yeah. And according to the tradition, this is supposedly Muhammad, yes, okay. Continue though, what else does he say?
And it says, الذي باركنا. Barakna means it's plural, the ones that we gave blessings. Barakna. Barak is singular, barakna is plural. حوله لنريه. So now they're talking about a singular person. So he's saying we showed him min ayatina, from our miracles.
So the him was seeing the miracles, right?
Yeah, our miracles or our signs. He is. So he comes back, المفعول جاي بعد المفعول به. So it comes back to Muhammad. It doesn't come back to Allah.
In other words, it's referring to the nearest antecedent, and the nearest one was the him that they showed miracles to.
I couldn't even translate that in English. I don't know how you did it. Subhanak. I don't know how you translated that into English. That's unbelievable. Exactly what Sam said. So it comes back to the Prophet. إنه هو السميع البصير. But if it was meant to Allah, why didn't it use the plural, Sam? Why did it use the singular?
Or at least write the sentence in such a way that you don't end up with confusion in pronouns. Because look how confusing the pronoun is. First, Allah speaks of Allah in third person singular. Glory be to him who took his servant by night. Then Allah speaks of himself in first person plural. So we may show him our signs. And then the him is supposed to be the servant, because we showed him our signs, unless you want to say that Allah needs someone to show him miracles. But then it goes to he is the all-seeing, all-hearing. Now, the him who saw signs is the same he who's the all-seeing, all-hearing, which means either Allah needed to be shown miracles by some other group. Why does Allah need some other group to show miracles when all miracles come from him? Mm-hmm. Or Muhammad is the one who saw these miracles, and he's the one who is supposed to be all-hearing, all-seeing. That tells you how bad the structure of the Quran is. So either the Muslim is going to say the author screwed up because that's not what he wanted to say, or it's perfect eloquence and Allah did want to say this about Muhammad, which is shirk, because now he made Muhammad his partner in his attributes.
Wow. Yep. That's
and
tough.
By the way, I will give you confirmation that the Quran makes Muhammad omniscient like Allah. It's in chapter 9, verse 94.
Here we go. I mean, this didn't already do it?
Yeah, well, they'll say, no, brother, you don't know Arabic, because the he is supposed to be Allah, the him is someone else. You don't know Arabic, brother.
So it looks like Allah
didn't know Arabic either. That's the problem.
Right. Allah's the one that messed us up, man.
Yeah. Chapter 9, verse 94. Guys, the Arabic speakers and readers are going to confirm. Chapter 9, verse 94. Allah and Muhammad are all seeing. Why here? Because Muhammad is Allah's partner. Right here. Read it first. 994.
Here we go. They.
Goodness.
You saw it, huh?
Oh, you already saw it before I read it? All right, let me see when I catch it. All right. They will excuse themselves to you when you return to them. Say, do not excuse yourselves. We will not believe you. God has already told us tidings of you. God will surely see your work and his messenger.
Wait,
Then,
Allah and his messenger see their works?
yes.
And the way it's written here, it's not as though it's like Allah and his messenger see your works.
Mm-hmm.
How does Muhammad see their works?
Because he's all seeing.
Because it says Allah and his messenger sees your works.
Well, it could be that Allah gives him this revelation, Sam.
Okay, then that means Allah made him his partner, committed shirk.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't notice what it says. Allah and his messenger see your works. So Allah now enabled Muhammad to see the way Allah sees, making him his partner.
Yeah.
That's shirk. That's what shirk means.
Yeah.
Associating a creature alongside of Allah and his unique divine characteristics and attributes. So, okay, you want to say that? Then admit that Muhammad is Allah's partner. And next. Clear? Now, the Arabic readers, do you see that, right? In the Arabic?
Crystal, Sam, because after that it says, the part that says يعتذرون إليكم إذا رجعتم إليهم كل لا تعتذروا لن نؤمن لكم قد نبأنا الله من أخباركم. Then look what it says. وسير الله عملكم ورسوله.
Wow,
And it even
that's a
gets worse.
conjunction of partnership, yep.
It gets worse. It says ثم تردون إلى عالم الغيب والشهادة. يعني you will basically, what it's basically saying is that Allah and his messenger know what others don't know. Like, what's the unknown?
Why do you think all throughout the hadith, when Muhammad asks a question, they say, Allah and his messenger know best? That's shirk. And yet, I honestly, I've yet to see Christians. Yeah, but here's the sad thing. I have yet to see Christians capitalize on those statements in the hadith. Oh, like for example, when the sun sets in Sunan Abu Dawud, it's a Sahih hadith. And Muhammad looks at Abu Dhar, he goes, Abu Dhar, do you know where the sun sets? Allah and his messenger know best. It's all throughout the hadith. Allah and his messenger know best. Allah and, well, that means you just made Muhammad Allah's partner in his knowledge.
Yep.
Right? Everyone got it? Alicia, you got that too?
That's wow. I haven't seen this one yet. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. These are things I haven't seen others use, but you got to use now. That's why I keep, I wonder, all these statements and Allah and his messenger know best. Guys, capitalize on that. That means Muhammad's companions made Muhammad a partner with Allah in his knowledge. They don't say Allah knows best. Like they say Allahu Alam, Allah knows. Allah and his messenger. And the conjunction wa is the conjunction for partnership, according to Muslim scholars.
Yeah.
But now let me give you the true shahada of Allah. Did you know Allah bears witness? There is no God but He and the angels and those who possess knowledge?
No way.
Yeah, that's in the Arabic. But
No
if you
way.
read the translation, they're going to cover it up. Chapter 3, verse 18. Chapter 3, verse 18.
Chapter 3, verse 18. Forgive me if I'm slow. I'm just taking a lot of notes right now.
No, it's all right. Yeah, but remember, I have all these in articles. Everything I
Bro,
said
this one is the funniest, Sam.
You
Oh
got it,
my
right?
God.
You got it. Huh? See?
My Lord, how? Oh my God, it's embarrassing, man.
Yep.
It's embarrassing.
Wait. Oh, wow, yeah. All right, this is what it says, ladies and gentlemen. This is chapter 3, verse 18 of the Quran. God bears witness that there is no God but He. and the angels and men possessed of knowledge.
That's literally what it says. Allah bears witness, there is no God but He, and the angels and those possessed of knowledge. So He bears witness, these three are God.
Wow.
That's literally what the Arabic says.
1
Literally.
plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 Coptic.
And Niels, do you read Arabic? Can you
Brother,
confirm I'm lying?
it's
Can you no? You read Arabic. Can you confirm those who can't read Arabic? Am I lying about it?
oh Sam, no. Listen what it says. It's Arabic is really bad, man.
Yeah,
It's
read
not
it.
even close to the English. Look, what it says is shahada is a verb. Shahada means testify, to witness, to see.
Yep.
So you can't say I witnessed a crime that happened 1,000 years ago. It doesn't make sense. You weren't there. So what it says is شهد الله إنه لا إله إلا هو. Who are you witnessing to if you're by yourself?
Yeah, but who else
And
is?
then
Who
after
else?
that it says هو والملائكة
Wa.
وأولو العلم.
That wait before it's go. Repeat it slowly. The wa is conjunction, and so reread it one more time all the way through.
شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط.
There you go.
لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم.
So the one Allah is Allah, the angels, and those possessed of knowledge. Now, obviously, the Muslims will say that's not what Allah meant to say. He wanted to say, Allah bears witness, and the angels bear witness, and those with knowledge bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Okay, but why didn't Allah say it that way?